Now, I feel like I need to jump on here today and talk to you, the person who is struggling with your intimate relationship. Because if you are in pain in your relationship right now, I already know that you have too many rules, too many expectations, and want to have too much control in your relationship. And the reason why is because most probably you're coming from the library of shit. So you're afraid that you're not good enough. You're afraid that maybe one day they will take their things and leave, because deep down inside, you don't think you're worthy of their love. So what happens when we haven't done the work on ourselves is we probably attract somebody who's kind of similar to you, which means you're coming from the library of shit, they're coming from the library of shit, and the only way for you to be together is for you to try and have some sort of control so that you feel like you think in a weird kind of way that you know what's going to happen. But the opposite happens. The more control, the more rules, the more regulations, and the more expectations you have in a relationship, the more unhappy you're going to be. Because what happens? You sit inside of your head and you have expectations of them showing up a certain way or them being in a certain way. And then they don't show up that way because, let's face it, they're not you. And then you get disappointed. And then that triggers their fears, because then they're thinking, oh, they're disappointed at me and I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough. And then they have expectations on you for showing up a certain way in order for them to feel complete or loved. And then you don't show up that way and now you've got conflict. And trying to control the situation only makes you a narcissist, because it makes you so obsessed with your own feelings, your own head, and everything about how you feel. So you've got nothing left to contribute with. Because survival mode is the lowest place to live from. When I live in survival mode, all I can think about is eat, sleep, and all of my own needs. I can't even think about contributing to the relationship. Survival mode is where we live in when we don't really like ourselves, when we're constantly living in fear of not being enough, fear of being abandoned, fear of pain. Because you got pain from relationships in the past, or you've got pain from maybe the relationship that your parents had. And so you reflect that relationship onto your now relationship. And what happens is, instead of you going off doing work on you, you think that there's something wrong with your partner and they should change in order for them to be with you. But if you have any thoughts of your partner having to change in order for you to be happy, that's a massive red sign. That's when you need to call me. Because it's not even about your partner, it's about you. Because if you're complete and you're no longer in survival mode, and you've dropped out of survival mode, and now you're living in that place of flow and abundance and self-love and gratitude, now you're no longer focused on your pain, which means you can now focus on contributing, which means then you don't need to have rules. Because it doesn't matter if they don't do it the way that you think it has to be done, because you don't have fear around it. They get to be them, you get to be you, and now you can start having fun together. So if you're struggling in your relationship, you got to ask yourself the big question that we don't want to ask. Do I like myself? Do I love myself? If the answer is no to those questions, you have got to contact me, because being in pain in your relationship will only go from worse to disaster. So if that is you, comment yes below right now. Comment yes below. And then I'm going to contact you. We're going to jump on a call and I'm going to help you to turn your nasty behaviors in your relationship around so that you can have the relationship of your dreams. Contact yes below right now.